and they shall know the land which you have despised. The land you despised. Come on. You hated your purpose. You hated your potential. You hated your providence. You hated your greatness. Because I saw my greatness, and my greatness made me scared. My greatness put me in a position where I wouldn't be comfortable. My greatness had me about to be set up where I will now have to trust Yud Hey Vav Hey. Just because you will have challenges ahead does not mean that Father abandoned you. I want to come to the land, but I want to come to the land without adversity. Well, that's not life. That's not realistic. This is not just speaking LaShon Hara, it's hearing LaShon Hara. Who told you you were naked? Where'd you hear that from? Oh shoot, I participated in evil speech. Fire! All right, here we go. All right, the joint that I'm about to share with you guys is so powerful, so powerful that, you know, Hasatan will hate for it ever to come out. The exposure of it will change the game completely. Like I said, you can do this one command and potentially unlock a massive load of commands. Now, what does that mean? Like, how do we quantify the value of this one command? So, as I teach, we understand that binding and loosing is your ability to do a command, and when you do these commands, it causes those sin levels in your life to be bound. So the more commands you do, the more you bind up death in your life and sin in your life, and you loosen life. And so if you could do more than just one command, you'd be doing really good. The more commands you do, the more you bind up. So the more commands you do, the more you bind up. So if you're doing 4 or 5 commands, if you're only keeping one command, you know, it's more of a game of odds, weights and scales, right? And so your greater measure is going to be weak. So you want to do more commands. And so I'm telling you, I'm going to teach you this one command, and in teaching you this one command, it's going to like cause many lines to be bound up by doing one command. So that's adding value to this one command. We're going to set up a premise. We're going to set up a premise for it. The premise that I'm going to set up for it is da'ath, which is the Hebrew word for knowledge, and yada, which is also the Hebrew word for knowledge. So that was my illustration right there. I just erased it. That was my illustration for binding and loosing. You know, Yeshua said that whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loosen on earth will be loosened. So if you think about it, it is allowing or permitting or not permitting. So when I choose to participate in acts of sin, I have allowed Hasatan permission to give death flow in my life. When I do not participate and I participate in acts of positive commands, then I bind up Hasatan in those areas of my life. And so when we learn this command, we're going to be binding and loosening a whole lot. So da'ath. All right, so the word da'ath, D-A-A-T-H, F-I. This will be considered what we would say in English, data. Okay? This is what we will see in English as data. Da'ath, D-A-A-T-H, is what we would consider in English as data. This is a collection of knowledge, a collection of information. A collection of information that has been accumulated over time. Oh, I love this. It's awareness without intimacy. Intimacy. Gotta spell that right. Intimacy. Yep. It's awareness without intimacy with Yeshua. So the word is da'ath. We're talking about a collection of information. It's awareness without intimacy with Yeshua. Awareness without intimacy with Yeshua. This type of this type of data is super dangerous. Hasatan don't care if you come into da'ath data. Right? He don't care about that. And so I'm specifically trying to encourage you to get past, and you to get past a place of data and get to a place of intimacy. Does Hasatan know the word? Yes. Does Hasatan quote from the word? Yes. Does Hasatan know science? Yes. Does he know data? Yes. Does he know information? Yes. Have you ever heard anyone talk a whole bunch of words? I mean, be saying the right stuff. They be saying everything they're supposed to be saying. I mean, saying everything. Like, Father is good. He's going to take you through it. You don't have to worry about it. And all these cliches, saying all the right words. But there be no oil on anything that they're saying. Think about it. No anointing on anything that they're saying. So you could be saying all the right words and have all the right information, but have no anointing behind what you're saying, and it falls on nothing. It's nothing. In return, because you've done this, you have walked into a realm of death. This realm of death is called LaShon Hara. You telling me I could be speaking the word and saying everything exactly right and doing everything I'm supposed to be doing and saying everything I'm supposed to be saying, and that's going to cause, and that's actually equal a realm of death? Yes. Because it's data. It's data. And so Father's word, Isaiah chapter 45, Isaiah's word is designed to cause breakthrough. His word is designed to cause breakthrough in people's lives. Think about it. So if I walk up to someone and they're like, hey, bro, I've been struggling. I'm having an issue. Can you help me out? And I'll be like, well, Yeshua wept. That's a scripture. Yeshua wept. That's a scripture. But it causes no breakthrough. It causes no life. It don't cause no encouragement. What is it? What is that word? Doesn't the scripture say that his word doesn't go out void? But you just threw out his word void, right? If someone's like, man, I need to look, you just got to trust Yeshua, Yahweh, Yahweh, just saying his name, just like there's power in his name. There's power in his character. There's power in him. Just trust that. Just trust that. You're like, oh yeah, I'm really encouraged by that. I'm really interested by that. But there's no oil. The third command that you just broke, the third commandment you just broke. Because the scripture says, you shall not take my name and make it common. You shall not take my name and use it as a banner. You shall not take my name and just plaster it all over the place. You shall not take my name and use it as magic. Now think about it. If my name is his character, name equals character. So if name equals character, And Yeshua equals the living Torah. He is the character of the Torah. He is the character of the Torah, right? So if Yeshua's name is character, and if name is character, and Yeshua represents character, and the Torah is him, and he's the Torah, we can't handle his name, his character, or what we have been given commonly. One more time. Do not take my name common. Do not take my character and make it common. I think when you guys were saying it earlier, when you guys hear those cliche speakers, when you hear those cliche sermons, when you hear those cliche scriptures, when you hear people handle his word so commonly, it rubs you wrong in your spirit. And it should, because you're taking his character, his name, because his word is his character. His Torah is his character. You're taking his character and you're making it common. Like the Christians right now, they took the Aaronic blessing and they turned it into a song. And I'm just like, don't tell me you perverted this too. They perverted it too. The Aaronic blessing, that the one that he said in Numbers chapter 6, he said, speak this over the children of Israel so that they will know, right? They say, oh, we're going to take that. And there's the story. The woman said, I'm not lying. If I'm lying, fry me. I'm telling you, this is true. On YouTube, she said when she was in a live concert, tens of thousands of people, live concert. And she said, okay, guys, we was mixing it up. We were just practicing. We was rehearsing, and we was trying to come up with a new worship song. And we came up with this song right here. I was like, okay, so you're going to sit there and say you made up this song, which is the Aaronic blessing, and the rendition literally sounds like Joshua Aaron's rendition. But she came up with it. So you're making something that's supposed to be sacred common, right? Saying it's yours, saying you came up with it. Only thing she did was add some strings and some hard rock and some stuff to it. My point is, this is the perversion of data. When we take his word and it's just information, when we use the pseudepigraphas and it's just information, when we use the internet and it's just information, this is a realm of death designed by Hasatan for the itching ear so that we will go deep into this and lose our ability to function and flow. And you say, well, how can you say that? Because death, LaShon Hara, what it produces is, I want to say the right word. Let me use the right phrase here. Let's just say it puts you. There's another word we can say beside puts you. I don't want to say it. I don't want to say exercise. It's like puts you out. I don't want to say cuts you off. I don't want to say those words. Those words are a little bit strong. But if we was using the language of the Torah, I would say cuts you off. It cuts you off. It puts you away. It puts you outside of the kingdom. It puts you outside of his kingdom. And what does that mean? It means it puts you outside of a realm of provision and blessing. Can you get back? Of course. But the problem with getting outside the realm of provision and blessing, Father's faithful and Father's judgment is just. And so when you participate in the realm of death and you walk inside the realm of death, now take a note. I mean, I'm not sitting there picking on anyone, because we all know that we go in and out of realms of death all the time. We go in and out of realms of life and death all the time. It's all the time. Like when we walk in this room, there's realms of death in this room. You go into a house, there's a realms of death inside our house. You could be talking to somebody and they just drop some pagan stuff on you, realms of death constantly around. But the Torah offers us remedies to get outside of those realms of death and get back into a realm of life. So when we choose not to use the remedy to get back into a realm of life, that's when we're getting in trouble. So can you get back? Yes. You get outside the realm, you get into a realm of death. Father says, okay, look, here my judgment is just, my judgment is true. it's going to cost you 70 tokens. It's going to cost you $70, But you keep doing this, and now it's going to cost you $150. Now you keep doing it, now it's going to cost you $2,000. And so his judgments are just. You can return, but you still will reap the consequences. And you could be right in a season when you need that anointing, when you need that oil, and then you're at a place outside of his realm of provision and blessing. You could be at the grocery store and someone comes up to you, put a demand on your soul, say, look, I need you to pray for me. I know, but right now I'm outside of the realm. It's more than just money, right? It's his anointing. It's his word. It's his revelation. Keep going.
And I was just thinking about that because I think the things that we really need to ask for, sometimes we don't.
Come on.
So we don't really always understand what we need. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like we think it's money.
Yes.
We see that need around us, but really what you really need is what's not in you right now.
Come on.
Money situation.
Come on.
You fix that, your money situation might actually get better. But
Come on.
We ask for the wrong thing. Lord, I'm out of provision because I really need this money. That's why you're out of provision. You probably get the money. There are a lot of people out of provision that get money. Look at all these preachers that are having no intimacy preaching the word of God. A lot of them have a lot of money. But that's not the provision he's talking about when he says out that outside part.
Come on.
There's a lot of rich people outside.
Come on.
But they have nothing in here.
Come on.
They have no intimacy, which means they're just, like that thing said, it's just like his notes say, just awareness.
Awareness.
It's just information. They're out there fooling and jacking up God's people. There is so much wrong with that. There's so much that needs to be forgiven inside you for that money's not your issue. And I think a lot of people think it's those physical things that we need. Really.
And so just from the first 10 minutes, you've already see the value of what I'm talking about already. You already see the value. Now I'm gonna expand that 10 minutes as we keep going. I'm gonna expand this 10 minutes as we keep going. I mean, just from that's just 2 notes compared to the long list of notes I already showed you, right? I showed you it's a long list, right? It's a lot of notes, right? And I'm gonna expand that and blow that up so big, you're gonna sit there and see increase in your life like you've never seen it before.
And from my own experience, because I don't have to pray for money to God be the glory.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But what I really want inside, I give all my money up for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Right.
I give
Right.
all up to have it.
Right.
Take this crap out. You know what I'm saying?
Right. The carnal versus the spiritual.
With y'all in me and working in me in a way that's productive, than to have all your. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. The carnal versus spiritual. No, you're good. When you're dealing with this principle, I'm gonna give you some pretext and some proof text. The best proof text that I could give you for this is the one thing that we did as Israel that we know we should have never, ever, ever, ever done. And it basically wiped out our nation. And that is we spoke against the promise. Think about it. Numbers chapter 14. We spoke against the promise.
Numbers chapter 14.
Yep, we spoke against the promise.
What verse?
Well, it's a story, so it's the whole chapter. But more specifically, I guess you could be in maybe somewhere around 40, 43 or 25, somewhere in there. It's 25, somewhere around there. And so let me establish the premise. We had our promise when we came out of the land of Mizraim, the land of Egypt, and the promise was what? That he's going to take us to the land, right? Now we know that the land is not just this place, this location, but the land is also symbolic of a purpose, a potential, a providence, a greatness, a flow, ability to flow, ability to prosper, ability to move forward, ability to make a difference. It's symbolic of the kingdom. It's symbolic of Eden. It's symbolic of this great utopia that we only saw in the reign of King David for a season. And so this is where he said, this is where he's taking us. We looked at the land, and the problem was not that we sit there and spat on the land, not that we slapped our individuals, not that we kicked our brothers, not that we stabbed somebody, killed somebody, not that we went out and committed fornication. He said, you know what? Because you spoke. You spoke. Your mouth got you in trouble. You said, no. Where's that at? Where's that at? Let me find the text. This is where this is Yeshua speaking himself. I think I wanted 23 or somewhere in there. Let's see. Earth full of glory, long suffering, pardon iniquity, pestilence, a great nation. Nope, 26. Shall fall. There it is. Verse 29, 28. 26. Let's start 26. It's a good pericope. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe and Aharon, saying, how long shall I bear this evil congregation who complain against me? Come on. I'm everything you need. I got everything you got. I got your back. But fear came to you and then made you do what? Open your mouth. Okay, he didn't say, how dare you fear? He didn't rebuke them for fearing. He didn't rebuke them for doubting. He didn't rebuke them for having little faith. He rebuked them for opening their mouth. I know you're scared inside. I know you're not comfortable. I know I'm taking you to some place you've never seen before. I know it. Because you complain. That's once. That's once. You'll see it. I heard the complaints. 2. I've heard the complaints of the children of Israel against me. Say to them, as I live, says Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh, just as you have spoken in my hearing, so will I do to you. The carcasses of you who have complained again against me shall fall in this wilderness. All of you who are numbered according to the entire number from 20 years old and above, except for Caleb and of Yephuma and Yehoshua of Nun, son of Nun, you shall by no means enter the land which I swore, and I will make you dwell in. But your little ones whom you would be victims, I will bring in, and they shall know the land which you have despised. The land you despised. Come on. You hated your purpose. You hated your potential. You hated your providence. You hated your greatness. Because I saw my greatness, and my greatness made me scared. My greatness put me in a position where I wouldn't be comfortable. My greatness had me about to be set up where I will now have to trust Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh. All right, Hosea, I'm going to take you to an arena. And when you get to this arena, I'm telling you, this is the dream I had. I had this dream. I don't want to expose the whole dream, but I'll share the most important details. I'll expose it. It's just funny. It was a dream, guys. It wasn't real. So in this dream, I was part of this dance crew.
Already.
He's like, yeah, no. Nah. Here we go. There was a dance crew, but they also was a singing crew. So they danced and sung. Sort of like, like on, what's it called? The Sister Act. Like that kind of crew, And they eliminated my role that I had in the crew and decided that they wanted me to be up front. And I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do up front? And they're like, just do you. I was like, well, I don't sing and I don't dance. Yeah, but you're going to go up front and you're going to lead us. I'm like, well, how do I lead doing two things that I don't do? I don't sing and I don't dance. I speak. I talk. I'm a teacher. And the arena was full. We talking like, Madison Garden type arenas. And now I had to go up front and lead the crew. And so I did exactly what I do. I was like, come on, guys, let's get it. Ham, come on, guys. I was a hype man. I was like, what's his name? The one guy. The one guy who did the stomp song. Kirk Franklin. I was like the Kirk Franklin, right? I didn't have to sing. I was just like hyping him up. Point is, he was going to place you in a position where you're in front of arenas of places where you're in a place of influence. This is your providence. This is your destiny. But because of your fear, you can literally speak against it. You can hate it. You can despise it because guess what? This thing is going to happen outside of you. I 100% believe that what Father's calling you to is not going to be by your design. I 100% believe that what Father's calling me to is not going to be because I put all the right places and pieces in the right place. Where were we at? Verse Numbers 14. And he said, but your little ones, they shall know the land, your purpose, potential, providence, your next generation, which you have despised. But as for you, your carcasses shall fall in the testing. Come on, somebody. Read the text. Read it right. Your carcasses shall fall in the testing. Come on. You're not even making it to the grading. You're not even making it to handing the paper in to get examined. You're not even turning it into the professor. You are going to be at the table taking the test and you're going to flop dead. Think about that. You fill it in the circles. C, multiple choice, D, and you flop. You're not even making it. You're not walking across the stage with everybody else. You're not going to graduate. You're going to fall while you're taking the test. So when a Christian be saying to me, oh, it's just a test. Hey, you know how many times we died in the middle of a test? That test is just a test. That test will kill you. Let's keep going with it. Let's keep going with the text. But your carcasses shall fall in this wilderness. This is the one test you're not going to make it out of. Think about that. Father comes to you and say to you, this is the one test you are not going to make it out of. Out of all the tests you had in your life, I'm going to make sure that this test destroys you.
You know what happens? We get to this test, and we'll tell people, I'm going through just a test. But they never make any conscious choice or decisions to move forward, to get out of the situation.
Right.
And move through the test.
Right.
They're stuck in the middle of the test. And
right.
No effort, because we have to have effort.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We make no effort on trying to move forward to get through the test. And when you get stagnant in the test is going to kill you.
It's a storm. The storm is designed to do what's going to do.
Moving in a storm.
I asked you a question. I just asked you a question. What are we doing wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Open it back up. And right there, smack dab.
What we about to see? Don't spoil it. No spoilers. 33. And your sons shall be shepherds in the wilderness 40 years and bear the brunt of your infidelity until your carcasses are consumed in the wilderness. According to the number of days in which you spied out the land, 40 days for each day you shall bear your guilt 1 year. namely 40 years. You shall know my rejection. Come on. You shall know my rejection or opposition. I love that. For every day that you had an opportunity to trust me, I'm going to give you a year. Not a year of grace, a year of just prolonging the inevitable. Because I could just wipe you guys out right now and this could be done and the next generation just go on in. But you know what? No, I'm going to give you a year for every day that you didn't trust me.
What version you read?
This is King James.
Mine says King James. But this one says, I don't know if it says something here. It says, you shall know my breach of promise.
Come on.
I like that.
Yeah.
The promise will be breached.
I was about to get there. That was my third point. That's my third point. How many times it's like, just trust the promises, just trust the promises, trust the promises. You run your mouth, you can flush those promises down the drain.
People don't get it.
Let your fear flush your promises down the drain. That's what he just said.
He said, my breach of promise.
Come on.
He's breaching the promise.
Come on.
I'm taking my promise back from you because you won't listen to me.
Come on. No, because you don't trust me. You don't trust what's already done. Let's speak to this point. Just because you will have challenges ahead does not mean that Father abandoned you. I want to come to the land, but I want to come to the land without adversity. Well, that's not life. That's not realistic. I want to go into my providence. I want to go into my destiny. I want to do what Father's called me to do. And I don't want to have to fight an hour with technology. I don't want to have to fight with getting a room. I don't want to have to fight to get here. I don't want to have to fight. Well, that's not realistic.
Because the test comes with adversity.
Come on.
Test. No adversity, no test.
And at any point, you are allowed to quit. At any point. At any point this morning, I could have said, you know what, bomb it, I'm done. It's not even worth it. It's not even worth it. But it is worth it. And that's why you're having the test. That's why you have the adversity. That's why you have the struggle, because you're going into your providence. He's not giving you the struggle because you're going into crap. I said, time's he's gonna put oil on that slide so you could go into that nice and quick. You know how easy it is to sin, but it's hard to get into that providence. You try to get into that promise, you got all kinds of resistance.
So they had all this da, but they never had yada, because he said that it was their infidelity,
Mm-hmm.
lack of intimacy.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So they had all this information. They even had the information of even seeing him in his, the manifestations and all that. They had all this information.
We did have all that information, and today we still do. We have more information, we have more ability, and we have more context of his character. Like, we can click the internet and find 70 different ways his name is interpreted to have different characters of his name. And so we can have all that data and we still have no intimacy. What verse was I at? And you shall know that I have withdrawn. I have taken away my promise. You don't get it. I, Yud, Hey, Vav, Ve, have spoken this. Hold on. You complained. Here, now it's time for me to speak. Let me speak. I will surely do so to all this evil congregation who are gathered together against me. In this testing they shall be consumed, and there they shall die. Now the men whom Moses sent to spy out the land, who returned and made all the congregation complain against him by bringing a bad report of the land, those very men who brought up the evil report against the land. And remember, he said, you spoke against the land. You spoke evil against the land, not me. You didn't insult me. You're insulting what I'm trying to do for you. What I'm trying to do for you. You're insulting my plans. Think about that. You're insulting my plans. You can't be using me, Father. Little old me. You gonna speak against what I said I'm gonna do for you? All right. Evil against the land died by a plague before Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh. But Joshua, son of Nun, and Caleb, and the son of remain alive to men whom spied out the land. There was, what else? What was the other point I wanted to bring out? In this same text, verse 22, verse 20, let's go up. Then Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh said, I will pardon according to your word. This is where Moses interceded. He's like, look, I'm going to wipe them out right now. They're just going to wipe these guys out right now. Moses interceded. He said, no, don't wipe them out right now. He said, all right, fine, we'll drag this thing out. I have pardoned according to your word, but truly, as I live, all the earth will be filled with my weightiness, the weightiness of Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh. I want to make sure that everyone knows how weighty of a man, how weighty of a power I am, how powerful I am. I need everyone to know my glory. And when you don't display his glory, when you don't put on the weight of his glory, when you're not walking in the glory of Yah, you are anti his mission. You are giving his name, his character, his mission a bad name, because he wants you to be this representative on the earth that says, you know what, sister, I hear what you're saying, but let me rebuke, cast down, and restore, heal, and deliver you. Because all these men who have seen my glory, you've seen my glory, and the signs which I did in Mitzrayim, in the wilderness. And in the wilderness. So I did it in Mizraim and in the wilderness, and have put me to the test now these 10 times, and have not heeded my voice. He's like, come on, guys. 10 times. How much grace do you need? So this is a picture of the difference between unmerited favor grace, and merited favor grace. So we get that confused. We think that Father's grace is unmerited across the board, but there is times when he says it needs to be merited. I think it's Exodus chapter 16 when he says, I'm giving you these trials, I'm giving you these questions, I'm giving you these commands to test you, to see if you will be obedient. He wants you to show some merit, some effort. That's why I said this one command here is a merited grace, because now you're going to do something that's going to bind up a lot of things. And so here's the premise to affirm my established statement, which is the data, the information leads you to speak out of your mouth, which puts you in a realm of speak LaShon Hara out of your mouth, which puts you outside of the kingdom of his realm of provision and blessing. And we can even go to other things that it can cause. Before we continue on, Yada is knowledge. Now, you may go to some Hasidic communities and you may find a place called a Chabad. Anybody ever seen a Chabad before? Chabad. They're Chabads in different Hasidic communities. They have this resource centers that set up. They're called Chabad. All right. This is an acronym for the Hebrew letters of Het, Bet, and Dalet. So Het, Bet, Dalet, Chabad. Okay. This is an acronym. The Het represents the Chokmah, the wisdom. Chokmah, wisdom. Okay. Chokmah, right? And then the Bet represents the B'nai or B'nai. B'nai, I don't know. I might get that wrong. It might be B'nai, might be Nai. I might be pronouncing that wrong. And then, of course, the Dalet represents knowledge, right? So it's wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. All right. So that's the Chabad. But the Dalet there, they used the Da'ath. They didn't use the Yada. And so they say, hey, come on in and get this knowledge. And so they're not afraid to share knowledge. Look, Hasatan is not afraid for you getting knowledge. The roadblock is getting you to intimacy. I know how to do this. I know how to do that. I know this and I know that and I know this. Great. And when he fills you up with so much knowledge, you feel so much zeal and so much knowledge, it's just overflowing to a point that comes out of you. Death. He fills you up with so much fear, so much insecurity, it just boils up and just comes out of your mouth. Death. He fills you up with so much inadequacies and insecurities, and it just comes out of you, comes out of your mouth. Death. Every time. Right?
You were talking about someone has a calling there. Nah, I can't do it. I'm not calling. I can't do that again. You get real negative. You're speaking death on their own situation.
Speaking death on their providence.
Do that and call. I'm just humble. That's not humility.
That's false humility. That's false humility, brother.
Because you degrade yourself. Self-degradation is not humility.
No. And you know what? I actually get a lot of criticism because I don't do that. You know, I'll be like, someone will be like, man, your stuff was good. I'm like, I enjoy that word myself. I look at my words. I watch my words. I be like talking to myself like, Hosea, you need to get back on the ball. Because 5 years from now, 2 years from now, 3 months from now, I may be in a little slump. Yeah. I'm able to encourage myself. Yeah. And so, yeah, I'll go watch my video, be like, man, that encouraged me. I guess I encouraged me. And it's okay for me to say that was good to me. I know it's good because I know it ain't me. I'm in this slump watching me, trying to encourage me. That's the Father's word, right? Anyways, they're like, oh, you're just not humble. No, I know that Father gave me something special, and it is special, and I honor it. So yada is intimacy. Yada is, we don't want to go into a workup on yada. Let me hear what you guys have for yada. Talia, please. What do you have for yada? I don't want to do a workup. I want to get to the principle. I want to get to the command. No, off the top of your head, what can you offer for yada? Something kind of summarize the concept. Yeah. Oh, what do you think yada is, Alan, Troy?
Yada,
divine information. Oh, okay. What do you got, Will?
And it's kind of the same thing.
Everybody have this? I can start to erase it.
It's knowledge that comes not just from hearing, but it comes through a relationship.
Okay, knowledge through a relationship. Okay. So I do have to do a quick little work. I'm just doing a quick little workup on it real quick. I want to get back to the speaking. Yada is
my dad was in my life for a long time. He would call, try to give me knowledge. I wouldn't listen to him. When my dad got saved, we became friends and really began to work our relationship really well.
Yeah.
He would say those same things, and I really enjoyed hearing them and start to apply them. But them same things 10, 15 years ago, I knew what he was saying, but they ain't mean nothing to me. They meant something with me and his relationship got him.
Yeah. All right, so here we go. We're going to have the Hebrew word yada. This is yud dalid ayin. Okay? Yud dalid ayin. Okay? So here is the separating point. Okay, so we have the first letter yud represents work. All right, so that's the big piece. Door is the second letter, which is a dalet. Okay, that represents access. All right, and then ayin, which is the eyeball, which means see. Right. So that's our word for intimacy. But now watch. Here's the difference between a harlot and our Messiah. Here's the difference. You walk up to a harlot and you say, hey, I want access to your intimacy. And she's like, yeah, here you go. Here you go. It's all you, right? It's all you. You walk up to a woman who is not a harlot and she'll say, what are you talking about? You can't even talk to me like that. You have to go through a process. You have to go through courtship. You have to go through dowry rights. You have to talk to my father. You have to talk to my family. You cannot be just walking up in here like that. How even dare you handle me like I'm some type of harlot? Right? You're not trying to do any work to access something that you have no ability or you should not be seeing. And so when you look at the scriptures of Matthew chapter 7, and he says, there will come in that time that many will come to me and say, Master, Master, haven't I done great works in your name and done many miracles in your name? And he said, depart from me because I never yada knew, not yada you, right? So I never knew you, right? He's trying to show that you operating in your gifts and talents is not the work necessary to access him. Think about this. Think about this. Some women are taken by how well a man can talk to them. We call it game. We sport these women with our good game, with our good speech, our good words, right? That's a gift. It's a talent. Esau said that his game, the Torah says that Esau's game was in his mouth. Listen to it. He said Esau's game was in his mouth. His skill, his gifting was in his mouth. It fed him. It got him exactly what he wanted every time. It worked for him. And so Father's gifts are without repentance. And some people can flow in their gift, they can flow in their talent, and they do that all they want. But because it is a gift, because it's a talent, and it's natural for you, you have no work involved. Listen to it. There's no work involved. And I watch people that dance. And I'm like, man, I wish I could dance like that. Man, I wish I could do all those moves. And every time I say that, there's always this person around hear me say it, and they say, you can. And I say, how can I? Well, you have to put the work in. I just want to dance like that. Well, yeah, he's making it look easy. It is a gift. Yeah, it's a talent. But you don't know whether it was a gift, a talent, or if he actually put the work in. So Father offers us an opportunity to come into revelation. But this revelation cannot come through da'ah. You got to put the work in. And so the easier the information, the more dangerous it is. And so he said, I'm a rewarder of them who diligently seek me. That's the work. So when I'm really seeking, when I'm really actually put in that type of work to say, okay, let me get what Father wants me to, that's a whole nother level. So now let's get to the actual command that's going to unlock so much stuff in your life and just release a whole new level of anointing for you. I remember when I first taught this years and years ago. I taught it as one of my first commands. One of the first commands I learned. Why did Father have me learn this command first? I don't know why. I do not know why, but I can see all the benefits of it now. It's huge. All right, so this is the command. The command is LaShon Hara. LaShon Hara. LaShon Hara. So LaShon is tongue, and Hara is evil. LaShon, yep. Yep. Or speech, right? Don't gutter it. Don't guttural. It's not guttural. It's a breath letter. Hara. Hara, yeah.
Also spirit. So evil. So LaShon Hara.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. Evil is spiritual. It's a spiritual thing. Tongue is something.
All right, so. Yep, tongue and speech and talking, yep.
So you're speaking evil. Speaking evil, which he said, the tongue speaks life or death. So,
well, you don't have to figure the lesson out. I'm going to give it to you, brother. I'll save you some work on your head. All right, so here's your number. There is 31 commandments which may be violated when a person speaks or listens to LaShon Hara. You got it on your notes there. Can you go ahead and say it? Read it for me. I'll write it up here.
There are 31 commandments.
31 commands, right?
Which may be violated when a person speaks
Or hears.
or listens.
Yep. Now, this is huge. Speaks or hears. So you not only have to protect what you say, but you have to protect what's coming into your ear gates. Okay? So, and it says, what is how many? 17 negative?
17 negative and 14 positive.
Yep. 17 negative commands and 14 positive commands. So a negative command is you shall not. A positive command is you shall. And so things that you should be doing, there's 14 of them that you're not doing, that you're breaking. And things that you should not be doing, there's 17 that you are breaking. That's 31 commands from evil speech. Now watch. That's why I love the concept. I'm gonna keep reading. I got so many notes. I can park a lot of times. What are these? I'm gonna keep going. Oh, I like that. All right. I love this. It's such good stuff. All right, here we go. So I want you to start thinking, when you think LaShon Hara, this is not, and this is what is taught. I'll tell you what is taught Hasidically. What is taught Hasidically is that LaShon Hara speaks specifically to slander. Okay? That's what is taught Hasidically, that it speaks specifically to slander. False witness, gossiping, rumors, stuff like that. Now we have to expand our thinking and get into the spirit of the Torah and the spirit of the command. Because if I speak the truth with the wrong spirit, am I speaking good words or am I speaking evil words? So I can use the scripture, and these are righteous words. The scripture is pure. I could use it for manipulation. The spirit behind what I'm using it for. And I think the scripture says that we shouldn't even be taking the Torah and using it as a rod to bash people across the head. There's so much wisdom in that. If you look at, what's it called, the testing of Yeshua. Throw yourself down. And he'll have his angels take charge on you. Bro, that's disgusting perversion. That's some perverted stuff. But it was the scriptures. But it was the scriptures. But it was perverted.
It's taught in the church, though.
What's that?
That whole perversion of the idea of faith, because that was Satan.
Blind faith, right? Yeah. Blind faith. So we got to expand our thinking. We got slander. Slander is wrong. Now, just because I'm expanding our thinking doesn't mean I'm taking away from slander. Slander is wrong. You can slander someone, even by speaking the truth. Think about it. LaShon Hara is such a delicate command that Yeshua said, I'll tell you what, the best way to stay in my realm of provision and blessing and in the kingdom, he said, I'll tell you what, this is what you do. Just let your yes be yes and your no be no. Everything else besides that is of the evil one. Think about that. And so what I did when I first came into this command, I said, I'm going to challenge myself. I'm going to go to work and I'm going to live a life of yes, yes, and no, no. And as soon as I make that covenant with myself, I walked in the door. I clocked in. I think I was probably at work for 3 minutes. I sat at my computer before that thing even logged up. It was still doing the Windows little spin thing, right? My coworker watching me like, hey, did you hear? What do you think about that? What do you say about that? Did you know that this? And I was just like, Come on. The penalty for participating. I'm giving you the end in the beginning. This ain't fair. I'm sorry, it's so all out of order. Talia, just you have to go through my notes, make sure I don't miss anything important. Okay. And the penalty for participating in LaShon Hara is financial instability. Okay. And so LaShon Hara, your words are seed. Your words are seed. Your words are seed. And so, Father, when you do not handle your seed correctly, he automatically affects seed. That could be your produce. It could be your increase. It could be your money. It could be your production, your productivity. It affects your seed, because whatever measure you sow, you shall reap. If you sow bad seed, you have to reap the harvest of bad seed. So, this is not just speaking LaShon Hara, it's hearing LaShon Hara. Who told you you were naked? Where'd you hear that from? Oh, shoot. I participated in evil speech.
Thy neighbor as you love thyself.
Come on.
Expand.
And so you're seeing the value of just this one command, how it bleeds into so many other things. One command I know I have on the list down there. It's a fun one. It's do not leave your brother or anyone. If you see someone who is under a donkey, you don't leave them under the donkey. Just think about that. You don't leave someone under their burden. And so there is a positive command there. It means I need you to take action. No, man, it's just one of them days, it's just one of them days, everything just ain't going right, it's just how it is, what can you do? What can you do? Oh, bro, that ain't true. That's a lie. Who told you that? I'm not going to leave you under your burden. That's my positive command. This is something that I'm supposed to be doing. It's not a you shall not. It's something that takes initiative. You need to go and raise him up. Or I could participate and be like, yeah, life is life. LaShon Hara. You got it. You participated. You agreed with it. You came into agreement. Hearing and speaking. You heard it. You affirmed it. Not saying anything affirms it. A positive command is you have to take action. You have to rebuke it. You have to stop it. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Does it bring death?
Yes. It's part of it's anytime you break any command or don't do a command you're supposed to do, it's wages of sin is death. You miss the mark, sin equals death. That's it. All right, so we got 31 commands. All right, yeah. So LaShon Hara could be positive or negative. It's not just slander. That's why that's where I was going. It's not just slander. It's also William. It could be tone. Okay, William. You are a black man. True. Do you agree with that?
I agree.
All right. You are a black man. Do you agree that you are a black man? Now, Will.
Something different.
Will.
The same thing, but you insinuated something else.
Will. Now that's a black man.
Like, what do you mean by that? What are you saying?
But I'm speaking the truth.
Yeah.
I'm speaking the truth. And so it's not always just about saying things evil. You could be saying things that are true, but the motive behind it, the spirit behind it, the tone behind it, the look behind it, even their look could be wrong. They call that ahara, weird, oddly enough. Even the look of how you go about it can get you into that realm. So I'm expanding the thinking. I'm expanding the thinking, not just slander. And so a funny story in the Talmud, I don't have no problem quoting it because it's funny. I love the story. There was a person who spoke against a rabbi, and the rabbi lost his reputation in the whole community. And then the person found out what he said was wrong, and it was, so he went to the rabbi. He said, I apologize for what I said. I'm sorry for what I've done. What can I do to make things right? I see the effects of what I've done, what I said, and what can I do to make things right? He said, I tell you what you do. You go home, get yourself a feather pillow off your bed. Go outside. I want you to cut that feather pillow and cast those feathers to the wind. So once those feathers go flying around throughout the city, I want you to go back and gather every single one of those feathers and put them back in the pillow. That's how hard it is to revoke or restore once LaShon Hara has been spoken. And so when you think about this wisdom, Talia, help me out. When you think about this wisdom, you have women who've been completely destroyed by men completely destroyed by women in relationship dynamics that we should never have been into in the first place. Okay? Because of the dysfunction of our relationships and the dynamics of how relationships are, we get all this destruction placed on us via LaShon Hara. Oh man, it's completely impossible to get that stuff out. So the positive command is, I'm not going to try to sit there and always just constantly try to dig it out. I'm going to have to replace it. I'm going to have to build, own it. And sometimes that house has to be like, you plucking down and you building up. You plucking down, you pulling out and you building up. Because all your life, your mom sat there and said you was worthless. You worthless, you worthless, you worthless. You the ugliest of all my children. You just constant, right? Berating, degrading, denigrating. Or even, what about this scenario? This is the one I love the most. We war not against flesh and blood, but principalities and powers and rulers of darkness, right? We in high places. So we war in a spiritual realm, a spiritual war. Our war is spiritual, right? Spiritual is things that are not tangible. Now, Wim, do me a favor. Could you grab yourself, could you speak into your hand a mouthful of thuds and hand me a handful of thuds for me? I need you to hand me a handful of thuds. Just say thud 1,000 times in your hand and then hand that to me if you could. Because our words are not tangible. They're spiritual. And so if we release words into the atmosphere, we're releasing words into a spiritual realm. So even speaking into that realm and no one's listening, and no one's around, and even you're doing it, and I'm just saying it to myself, I wasn't saying it to nobody, you're still releasing it into the atmosphere. You're allowing Hasatan to have access to that realm of death again. You're giving yourself over to that realm of death.
The word says, "Be careful what you say, as the little bird might take it to the king."
So there are some dangerous LaShon Hara examples. I'm gonna give you one. This is I'll give you three. There are four. Wow, they keep coming to me, Father. You got one, the Word of Faith movement. That is the LaShon Hara danger right there. Word of Faith movement. You got the laws of attraction. That's a dangerous word of faith concept right there. Speaking things into existence. That's a dangerous one right there. All that comes back to your power within your words, affirmations, mantras. All these things are trying to pull the power from action, from work, from intimacy, and trying to sit there and use your data, knowledge to will things to happen. And he said in Zephaniah, it's not going to be by your work, not by your strength, not by your hand, not by your power, not by your might, not what you can make happen, not because you willed enough. Will it. Because I said it 1,000 times every morning. I woke up and I saw it, and I said it. I woke up and I saw it. I said it. I woke up, I saw it, and I said it. And I was faithful about that. He said, it's not going to be by those things. That's your power. That's your might. That's your will. He said, but it's going to be by my spirit. Well, how do I access your spirit? Well, you have to come to my spirit through that intimacy, right? So LaShon Hara my next note, LaShon Hara deals with us as let's use the word constant. You turn on the TV, you have Entertainment Tonight, you have, gossip news, you have world news, you have all this news. Now think about this, guys. I want you to rewind back to ancient Israel. How long would Russia have been in war with Ukraine before someone in the other side of the country, other side of the globe, people in America would have known?
3, 4, 5 years.
First of all, how would the message get over there?
Someone have to take it.
And why would somebody care to give it? Exactly. And then once they gave it, who would they give it to? One person? Exactly. Then how long would it take it to spread? Right? Now it happens instantly. We're watching it real time. Information, the data triggers a comment. The data triggers an opinion. The data triggers you to take a position. And once I take a position, I have to take a stance. When I take a stance, I have to say something. Shut up!
Information these days.
Yeah. And I think it's just the data itself is so fast. And so it gets everybody in a position of opinion too quick. And when you got an opinion too quick, I mean, like, I have to admit, some people say some of the stupidest things, especially some cultures, they say some of the stupidest things. Like, I don't really see why that's such a big issue. Why don't they just get over it? Stuff like that. Like, shut up. You don't even get it. Like, you should not even, and so what was Yeshua's statement? He said, look, there's going to be these things that's going to happen. You're going to have all these wars. You have the rumors of war. You're going to have all these things happen. These things have to happen. This is part of the process. Is this your time to participate and fall into the distraction? Because conversation becomes a distraction. So you have that. You have entertainment news. You have regular news. You have world news. You have political news. You have all this constant participate. What do you think about that? What do you say about that? What do you think about that? What do you say about that? What do you think about that? What do you say about that? What's your stance on this? What's your stance on that? What's your stance on this? Everybody wants you to take a position, right? Then you have sarcasm and snarkiness. You have all this type of jokes at someone else's expense. All this stuff is LaShon Hara. And it's just tearing down your spirit. It's just tearing down your ability to flow. It's tearing down your ability to function. And then Vala says, I'm so serious about this. I'm so serious about what comes out of your mouth that I'm going to take a record of every single word that you've said out of your mouth. And then I'm going to take that record, I'm going to make you give an account for every single word that you've said out of your mouth. Well, that one don't count, Father. I said every word. You need to give an account for it. Well, you can't count that. I was upset. Every word. It don't matter. Every word. And there's so many concepts on how he's going to dispute, how he puts out his judgments in the Shemayim. Like we really don't know how he's going to put out his judgments in the Shemayim. We know that the judgments are crowns and crowns of glory, but when you look at that Hebrew, that crown could be suffering. And so, when a baby's head goes through a woman's cervix, that head is crowning. That's the best feeling in the world, huh, Celia? Right? That's suffering. That's suffering. But that child is getting that crown. And so we don't know how he's going to give that account when it comes to those words. We don't know where he's going to be like, you know what? You had 13,000 of those and 15,000 of those 4-letter words and 18,000 of these words. You said the right thing here, but you definitely said it at the wrong time to the wrong people with the wrong heart. So that's going to total 18 years in the burning. He's like, or we're going to slide you down. We're going to slide you down this slide of blades. Like what? There's so like there is going to be an account. There's going to be an account. So we can't just say, oh, he's going to give us a crown. Well, you better watch it because that crown is two-sided. It's suffering and it's reward. That's neither here or there. I don't even know what it is. You know, the Torah don't even allow us to talk about it, but, you know. Anyways. Yeah, 31 commands. 31 commands. Let's see what I found. Keep going. Let's see. Scriptures. Here we go. Let's look at some scriptures real quick. John 8. If you get that one for me, Troy. John 8, 5 through 8. William, if you could get Numbers 12, 5.
John 8, 5 through 8.
John 8, 5 through 8, yep. Proverbs 18, 21. And I'm going to get Proverbs 29, 18. All right, go ahead. Troy, go with yours first.
Now Moses in the law commanded us that such should be stoned. But what do you say?
Come on. Come on. Come on.
Now Moses in the law commanded us that such should be stoned.
This woman should be stoned. Read down to verse 8.
But what do you say?
Mm-hmm.
This they said, testing him,
Mm-hmm.
that they might have something of which to accuse him.
Come on.
But Yeshua stooped down and wrote on the ground with his finger, as though he did not hear.
Hold on. Let's give the premise here. They come to him and they said, we want you to participate by saying something. And no matter what you say, it's going to break a command because we was already bringing you a inappropriate, unjust scale. They already had the unjust scale. When they brought the woman, they was already had an unjust scale.
Yes.
So that was the trap. They only had the woman. They're supposed to have the woman and the man. So that was the trap right there. They was already breaking a command. And then they said, we want you to say something about it. What do you say? Participate verbally of what we should do here. And he said, you know what? What happened in the text? Let's just say this.
It says, so when they continue asking him.
Oh, they said this to test him, but Yeshua said nothing.
He said nothing.
He didn't say anything.
It says that as though he did not hear.
I'm going to act like I didn't hear you. Stoops down and was writing in the sand.
He ignored him. He refused to hear LaShon Hara.
Proverbs. Go ahead. Keep going. What do you got?
So when they continue asking him, he raised himself up and said to them, he who is without sin among you, let him throw a stone at her first.
Come on.
And again he
We know the story. We're good. Numbers 12:5. This is a good one. This is a classic. I love this one.
And Yah came down in the pillar of the cloud and stood in the door of the tabernacle and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both came forth.
Keep going. I love this story.
Hear now my words.
Hear what I got to tell you.
If there be a prophet among you, the Lord will make himself known unto him in a vision.
Through dreams and visions, right?
And will speak unto him in a dream.
Mm-hmm.
My servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all mine house.
Come on.
With him I will speak
Face to face. Panim el panim.
even apparently,
Mm-hmm.
and not in dark speeches.
Mm-hmm.
And the similitude of the Lord shall behold. Wherefore then were ye not afraid to speak?
Come on.
as my servant.
How? Hold on. You know I deal with Moses like I don't deal with nobody else. You know that's my dude.
He was scared.
And you just freely criticized, came against, spoke against him. Not only did he put something on her, but it proved my original statement that LaShon Hara puts you outside of his realm of kingdom blessing, because as soon as she turned white as snow, get where anyone knows what happens to a leper?
Yep, they get put outside.
You got put outside the camp. Talia, your verse?
Proverbs 18, verse 21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue.
Oh, you already know. You already know.
They that love it shall eat the fruit thereof.
Come on. Proverbs 29:18 says, where there is no revelation, the people cast off restraint. But happy is he who keeps the Torah. Is that the right one? 29:18. Blessings are promised for keeping the Torah. That was a note on that. Blessings are promised for keeping the Torah. Where there is no revelation, yada, the people just say whatever the heck they want to say. What? Keep my mouth shut? I have no revelation of word. People who have revelation of word, they know the value of it. And they know, okay, every time I speak, it's a seed. I got to make sure that I'm giving this revelation to someone who's going to honor it, who's going to cherish it, who's going to grow, who's going to produce. And then when I go back to them with that same revelation, that insight, that wisdom, I'll say, okay, give me my fruit. Now that's skill. That's wisdom. That's strategic. What else we got? Anybody getting blessed by this? Is this good stuff or what? Do not try to do it yourself. Ephesians 4:25. That's yours, Alon. Ephesians 4:25. William Matthews 5:37. Yep. If you got it.
But let your communication be yea, yea, nay, nay.
Come on.
For whatsoever is more than these cometh of evil.
All right. What you got? Ephesians 4.
Therefore, putting away lying, let each one of you speak truth with his neighbor.
Come on.
For we are members of one another.
Hold on. You guys put your trust in me to say, okay, we're going to trust Hosea that he's going to say what is truth. So the accountability that Father has on me says, okay, these people are trusting that you're going to give them truth. These children, when they listen to their mother, they're trusting that their mother is going to give them truth. So if her communication goes outside the boundaries of truth, they can't discern, oh, mommy was just having a bad day when she called me a bad little mother. Mommy was just frustrated when she called me an antibiotic. All she going to know is this was truth. It came from my mama. This is truth. I must be.
That's true.
And so the scriptures tells us your communication. Keep going.
It says, be angry and do not sin.
Come on.
Do not let the sun go down on your wrath, nor give place to the devil.
Come on. Your communication gives a
foothold.
A place for the devil to hang out.
That's the word principality.
He could sit on my lap now. Hey, how's the time? Come sit on my lap.
Yeah, because when I looked up the word principality, it means a domain.
A place, yeah.
Place.
Yeah.
So if your speech will give him a principality,
Come on.
a domain in your life, in your areas, in
That realm. It's the realm of LaShon Hara. We get the text. We know that text. Let's go through those commands. We're gonna read those commands so you can have them. Let's read through those commands. The 17 and 14, the 31 commandments that we break. I'm gonna start. You want me to start with the negative or the positive? Want me to start with the negative or the positive commands? Start with the negative commands. All right, negative commands. Here we go. I'm gonna pull it up on my phone.
Are you gonna put this up?
No, I'm just gonna read it to you. All right, here we go. The negative commands. Not to mention the plethora of scriptures that I have dealing with LaShon Hara. You know, Devarim 19:15, Joshua 7:11, Psalms 19:14, Exodus 20:16, Leviticus 19:11, 1 Peter 2:1, Job 6:24. Just a plethora of scriptures dealing with LaShon Hara. And then there's another concept which would be like level 4. LaShon Hara, this is crazy. There's a Hebrew word called metzora. Metzora. It's a disease, an infliction, a painful infliction that happens because of disobedience. Metzora is seen as a sting of a hornet. Not only is it a sting of a hornet, but it's a contagious sting of a hornet that goes about a camp. And it's so dangerous, the rabbinic circles came up with a concept called the sin of duplicity. The sin of duplicity. And it's similar to heads up, 7 up. Is that right? No, telephone. It was similar to telephone. Spoken to one person, another person say another person, another person say another person, and by the time it gets all the way back around to the room, it's completely different. That's dangerous. Now you put that in a community setting. Because I hear what people say about me. I hear what people say about me, and I'm like, now y'all know, not only one, I can't participate, because y'all understand according to the law, you can't participate in hearsay. That matters. Come on. So you can hearsay all you want. According to the Torah, I can't say nothing about it. I can't say nothing about it. I'm gonna rebuke that, or that. You're not even saying words. You're just actually putting out more LaShon Hara. Now, Proverbs says like this. He says, now you have someone who's speaking foolishness or speaking transgression, because the word for fool is transgression. Right? So you have someone who's speaking transgression, and when they speak transgression, he said, if you do not rebuke a fool according to their transgression, you'll be charged with that sin. He says, okay, so talk to a fool according to his folly, and you be a fool like him. Don't rebuke a fool according to his folly, that he thinks is wise in his own lies. Say, wow, how do I get around this? Here's the commands. Negative commands for LaShon Hara. You shall not go about being a talebearer among the people of Israel. Leviticus chapter 19:16. You shall not utter a false report. Exodus chapter 23:1. You shall not, take heed concerning the plague of leprosy. That's Devarim 24:8. We know the plague of leprosy is connected with LaShon Hara from Numbers chapter 15. Or Numbers chapter 12. That's what you read, right? Numbers chapter 12. Before the blind, do not put a stumbling block. That's found in Leviticus 19:14. You know darn well that talking this crap is going to tap their finances. You are an agent of Satan. Or an advocate of the devil. You're causing people to stumble. Shut up. Beware, lest you forget that Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh, your Elohim, is supreme. When you start taking that position, where you're like, you know what? I'm going to call it. That's what's so dangerous about that. Speaking it to existence. You're taking a position of that you're not supposed to have. Even when it comes to casting out devils. I hate hearing Christians say they're casting out devils. Because even in that, it's not you who are casting out the devil. You are asking the Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh, who is the father of spirits. You yourself, you're not doing the healing either. You're not doing the delivering either. Come on. But I decree and I declare. Who are you? Who are you? You God now? Yes.
You talking about perverse? That's the perverse.
That's perverse. Could you imagine people going to Job when he's going through his suffering and they be like, I decree and declare you are healed. Cursed is anything that's on your body right now. No, Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh gave permission. There's a principle here. And now you're stepping into a realm saying, no, I'm God. I'm going to set you free.
Ooh, you hitting something.
That's dangerous.
You're going through something. You must have did something wrong in God.
And you hit.
Who are you?
And you hit.
Who are you? You can't judge.
Job
Yes.
was talking about LaShon Hara because his friends participated in LaShon. They got rebuked for what?
You see in the text. Oh, what number was I on? Beware if they forget it. Okay, don't think that you're 6. You shall not profane my set apart name. That's Leviticus chapter 22:32. Now remember, that's profaning his character and his literal name. You shall not hate your brother in your heart. I love this one. That's found in Leviticus chapter 19:12. It said that, what's her name? Hannah. She said she went before the altar and she was praying in her heart. And he said, what are you, drunk? He said, from the abundance of your heart, your mouth speaks. So if I hate my brother in my heart, what's going to come out?
A bunch of hate about your brother.
You could even be like, look, I'm not going to call him the dirty dog that he is. But every time someone brings up that name, you kind of have this certain tone about him.
You seen your brother? No.
Come on. The hate is all in your heart.
What you mean? I ain't seen him. That's all
I said, no, I ain't seen him. I don't care. I don't know where he's at. I don't care where he's at. I don't care what he's doing. You ain't say nothing against him. But the hate in your heart produces.
You said one word. No.
All you said was no. But you could feel the hatred.
Feel it.
You feed me today because I got some things I need to check.
Hey, that's why I said this one command kills 31, bro. Just one.
That one command, bro.
I'm thinking about the tongue.
It might be
But
one
listen.
command, but that ain't no fault.
But listen. The Hasidics in the Talmud says there's 3 commands that every person will participate in every day. Like you cannot get around it. And one of them is LaShon Hara. All right. What was the last thing I said? Hate your brother in your heart, right? Not to take vengeance nor bear any grudge against the children or against the children of your people. That's found in Leviticus chapter 19:18. Not to take vengeance or bear a grudge against the children of your people. I just said that one. One witness shall not rise up against a man of iniquity or for any sin. So you got to have 2 things to let things be established. This is what we call hearsay, right? You shall not follow a multitude to do evil. That I got so many stories on that, man. What was that one? What was the story when y'all? What was his name? The guy. Osama bin Laden. Y'all remember what happened once they said that we got him? Everybody was just like on the streets.
Oh yeah, they was in front of the White House.
They was like, yay. They was partying. They was throwing over cars. They was flipping cars. And then the Proverbs tells us that, you know, it's never wise to rejoice on the destruction of your enemy, at least you be destroyed. Like, there was so much wrong. You just follow that crowd like it wasn't nothing. One witness shall rise up and says, you shall not follow a multitude of evil. That's like what's it called? The one people with the pitchforks, right? Let's go get them. That's Exodus chapter 23:2. The angry mob, right? You shall not, and whether we like it or not, they will call it celebrating, but that was evil. You don't do that. You shall not follow a multitude of evil. Where we at? You shall not act in a similar to Korah and his company. That's in Numbers chapter 17:5. Y'all remember what happened with Korah in the Korah rebellion? Okay, cool. And so what the sidebar that we don't pay attention to is in the text. It said at night they went about and they was lighting the pans of, you know, you have to know what the Korah function was. The function of Korah was to light the pans of Israel, keep the lights on in the camp, right? And so imagine you going around to people's camp and you turn on their lights, you turn on their little fireplace, and you doing the, hey, did you hear about the report? 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 Hey, did you? And before you know it, you done gather a whole crowd. How in the world did Korah get all those people behind him? It was his function. You have to know what Korah's function was in the temple. You shall not wrong another. That's Leviticus chapter 25:15. You shall rebuke your neighbor, and you shall not bear sin because of him. So you have two there. You have a positive and a negative there. So you probably hear that one again. A widow and an orphan you shall not afflict. Oh my gosh. You opening your mouth and you don't know who's a widow, you don't know who's an orphan, you don't know who's a fatherless, and you sitting there, and LaShon Hara is seen as death, LaShon Hara is seen as a sword. Come on, he said, what he said? Oh, he said, the Torah, Matthew chapter 5 says that LaShon Hara is murder. Murder! You shall not murder, which I did not have on here. Can you add that to there? To you thinking you shall not murder, right? And so he said, LaShon Hara is murder. He said, speaking and calling your brother stupid, he said, it's like murder. And so you sit there and you have a widow, or you have an orphan, or you have a fatherless, and you go around and you killing them? It's murder. You shall not pollute the land wherein you are in. That's in Numbers chapter 35:33. We talked about that in Numbers chapter 14 already. You shall not curse the deaf. That's in Leviticus chapter 19:14. Now here are the positives. Remember what Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh, your Elohim, did unto Miriam by the way when you came forth out of Egypt. That's Deuteronomy 24:9. All right, so that's a positive command to go against speaking like, oh, I remember what happened to Miriam, right? You got love your neighbor as yourself, Leviticus 19:18. In righteousness shall you judge your neighbor, Leviticus chapter 19:15. Now, judgment is not just punishment and verdicts. Judgment is also deliverance. You have to set them free, right? If your brother is waxing poor and means has failed him when he is with you, then you shall uphold him. Lift up your brother. That's found in Leviticus chapter 25:35. You shall rebuke your neighbors. That's found in Leviticus chapter 19:17. You shall cleave to Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh, of course, Devarim 10:20. You shall fear my sacred place, Leviticus 19:30. Don't even. There's so many places I could go with that command. 1, you are the temple to Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh. 2, the way people handle what they consider supposed to be the set apart place or their church or their congregation. I'm not even going there. Number 8, before the gray hair you shall rise up and you shall show honor in this face of the old man. And that's such a taboo thing versus the way we handle our elderly. That's found in Leviticus chapter 19:32. You shall sanctify him being Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh. That's found in Leviticus chapter 21. Sanctify means to prepare and set up an environment so that he can work and flow. Come on. Honor your father and mother. That's found in Exodus chapter 20:12. Okay, we already know the problem, the dynamics with father and mother. That talk back and forth dynamic is already there. Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh, your Elohim, you shall fear. Don't fear what father's trying to do in you. You fear him, right? You don't fear, oh, I'm gonna speak against my destiny. You shall teach 12. You shall teach them diligently to your children. You shall talk of them when you walk by the way, when you sit in the house, when you lie down, when you rise up. these things shall you be talking of. That's found in Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 7. He's even telling you what to say. From a false matter, you shall keep yourself far from. If it's false, I'm not even participating. If it's false, I'm not. He said, you shall keep yourself far from. That's in Exodus chapter 23, 7. Walk in his ways. Choose to walk in his ways. Deuteronomy 28, 9. Come on, guys. Is that bar hard? Is that a hard bar or what? That mug sits like, ooh, it does. Oh, well, that made you think a lot of stuff.
One of the things was seven words said, Lord, know that
Come on.
and I thought about that. What was said previous to that was basically Yeshua was saying, if you say to your brother Raka,